There we go.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that streaming of Dr. Alicia Georges, for the Volunteer National President of AARP. We are so humbled and gracious that she took some time to debrief with us today. And if you're having questions, please let us know. And Wes, we can answer any questions you may have in real time. We just want to thank you, Dr. Georges, for being here today. And I know we spoke on the power of diversity. And for everyone out there, I really liked the point that you stated, that AARP is not just about older adults. And a lot of the individuals that are watching right now, we're from a younger generation. So how are we as younger nurses on the front lines, or just starting administration and leadership roles, what can we do to help AARP and help those that we serve better get involved so that we can help our communities as we age overall in this country?
Well, I think one of the thanks, Blake, for having me, and I'm really been honored because Wes is one of my former students, and I'm always proud of being able to strut around and say he was my student. But one of the big issues is I think people don't understand the impact, or what we call the titanic change of the older adults in this country, and people who the baby boomers are not like 65-year-olds were 20 years ago. So younger people can begin to look and understand that longevity is going to be the key. And what they need to do right now is to begin to work like you and with your members around the kinds of things that they need. One, to stay healthy and to help communities to stay healthy. Two, to have financial resilience, because retirement is not going to occur at 65 anymore. It's going to be pushed back longer and longer. So we're talking about people now going to have more monies to be able to survive. We also want you as young and leaders in our communities to look around the communities and see the kinds of things that would help people to age in place. And with your wisdom and your power, you can get a lot of policy changes done. You can join us. You can join other groups in advocating. Our Center to Champion Nursing in America is gung-ho, and you will be a part of that in making sure nursing and what nursing does is critical for the communities that you will be serving.
Well, and I over the course of these last 3 days, I think your message and Dr. Susan Hass-Miller's message that was on Thursday, we have to go beyond just living healthy. And what she said was, you have to live healthy and well. And
Right.
It's really moving towards, our baby boomer generation is kind of the first generation that still wants to do things, or has the opportunity to live outside in the communities, and they want to, and the innovation has to help live well.
Right.
And not just thinking of health as health. We have
Right.
to think about well-being.
Right, and well-being, which is critical. And one of the things that we also are concerned about is that people don't get isolated because as they get older, because they're living longer, and so they may get isolated, get lonely. So we want to make sure that folks like you and your members are aware of that, and will be proactive, because we do want them to live well. But we also want folks to play well.
Yeah,
So we have to
exactly.
make sure that we have the kinds of things to help, older adults as they age in their communities to have fun. We have to have fun, so it's work and play, but, and that's important. That's important to well-being of anyone, to be able to have that kind of opportunity.
Right. One of the things that you mentioned during your speech, Dr. Georges, was really interesting, because we still consider the electronic health record innovative. And you said that's not innovation. Let's throw that out the
It's a different
window.
way of collecting data.
It's digitalization of information.
Exactly. And you brought up other things that people have done, the devices that detect changes in skin before it even happens, before we can even physically see it, and that wasn't founded by a nurse. What are what has AARP done in order to support nurses being innovative in like their career or in doing these, offering these services way before anybody else, the engineers come up with it?
Well, one of the things, I don't know if I can pinpoint anything specific, but again, through Dr. Susan Reinhardt and the Center to Champion Nursing in America, you know, a lot of things bubble up from across the country with the campaigns for action. However, AARP does promote innovation, and it could be from anybody. And so AARP, you know, has an innovation. You know, I think it's every other year it is. I think it's coming up 2019, or maybe, you know, that where encourage, you know, young ideas, encourage innovation that is geared to the older population, you know, so that nurses who know what patients need, and what I suggest, and this is not what AARP is saying, this is what Alicia Georges is saying, is that you folks are young, you know, young engineers, you know other people in the field, you and them should begin to talk to each other. You should begin to say, you know what the patient and the community issues are for people as they're growing old. So talk to them about it, and then say, well, what could we come up with?
Right.
You know, it's also good business sense. You know, because it also puts you in an opportunity to be an entrepreneur, and that's important. And it also meets a need of a growing group of people in this country.
Right. Thank you for bringing up the point about the millennials being a generation about passion, and I think that they definitely have a lot on their shoulders. They're going to be the big risk takers and those entrepreneurs that are saying, you know what, it's about what I enjoy doing, what I love doing, and not what I think needs to be done to like put food on the table, but I have to be fulfilled in that work. So I think that was such a great point.
Yeah, and they're really, that's what I admire. I admire the passion and their talents and skills. And so, you know, tapping into a group of folks like that who can understand, you know, and then work with the people who know what's needed, you know. And we got a bunch of millennials who are nurses. Now somebody used the word Zenellians. I said, where did that come from? But Zenellians, I heard somebody address. I said, who are they? They must be my 9-year-old grandson. You know, but there's another group coming after the millennials. And they listen, they know and they think about all the things that they could do, you know, in the use of technology. So we need to tap into that. We need to tap our nurses, young folks like you guys, into to making sure that happens.
Right.
So as we end here today with Dr. Georges, any just general words of wisdom for all the younger individuals out there that are aspiring or from this conference that are like, I want to get involved to be a leader, and are having that inspiration from these conversations? What should they do? What are the steps to keep that passion alive and grow so that one day they can have the impact that you've had on nursing?
Well, first of all, they need to find some mentors. I've had more than one mentor. They need to find somebody who understands where they want to go. And that person, as a mentor, will connect them to all the people. I say to people, you need to sit down and say, where do I want to be in 5 years? And then work backwards. Okay? So if you want to be have a PhD, then start working backwards. So what do I got to do now? And move on. That's futuristic thinking. We can't just think of today and nothing else. So think and look ahead, and then move back in what you need to be doing. And you know, you may not know right now exactly what you want to do. So take the time to really look at opportunities and be brave. You know, step out sometimes in doing something you didn't,
Sound
this
always
one did.
comfortable.
Yeah, you know, but step out. You know, your comfort level will increase, but just step out. I urge people, take the chance, you know. And I think the folks that I've met and some of your young members like you guys will step out. I think you stepped out already. Just how the way and what you've taken on in leadership, you know, right here in this association.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Georges, for taking the time today to speak to our membership via Facebook, as well as who are here in person, and then taking the time with us today to debrief. We greatly thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, and I'm so proud of you folks. I'm okay. The future is in their hands.
We'll see you, everyone. We'll do one more wrap up around 12:30 to wrap up the conference, and then we will see you live on the podcast as we move forward.